Right now, live at 5, the former Proctor football player charged with sexually assaulting a teammate appears in court. We break down the judge's rulings.
A new law could end discrimination based on hair. Why it's a big deal for some community members, coming up.
And later, researchers uncover a shipwreck from the depths of Lake Superior more than a century after it sunk. Why they're just finding it now and what they plan to do next.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Briggs LaSavage. U.S. defense officials say Russia has committed about 90% of its pre-staged combat power inside Ukraine, with heavy shelling continuing in several major cities.
Today, Russian President Vladimir Putin praised the actions of his soldiers despite international criticism over the targeting of highly populated residential areas. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
During televised comments, Russia's President Vladimir Putin said operations in Ukraine were going according to plan. Russian forces have taken its first major city, Kherson. They've also surrounded Mariupol, while heavy strikes continue in target Kharkiv and just outside the capital, Kyiv.
The use of weapons with wide area effects in populated urban areas risk being inherently indiscriminate.
The United Nations Human Rights Council says more than 1 million people have fled Ukraine in the week since the invasion began, and 1 million more are displaced internally. After a second round of peace talks between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators in Belarus, both sides said they'd reached an agreement to create safe civilian evacuation corridors. President Biden discussed the situation in Ukraine with the leaders of Australia, India, and Japan before meeting with his cabinet.
We're going to continue to support Ukrainian people with direct assistance.
The Biden administration has asked Congress to approve $10 billion in new funding for military and humanitarian aid in Ukraine, and they want it approved next week.
Our interest is in maintaining the strongest unified economic impact campaign.
The Biden administration has announced new sanctions on Russian oligarchs and their families, which include prohibiting travel to the U.S. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
An immigration official tells CBS News the Biden administration has paused U.S. deportations to Ukraine due to the ongoing humanitarian crisis stemming from Russia's military attack.
Expression through hair is so important for many communities, but for some, they have to make a choice, honor their culture or conform in order to get a job.
But a new bill has passed through Minnesota's House of Representatives, and it could help cut down on discrimination based on someone's hair.
CBS 3's Quinn Gorham explains why the act could be a game changer, especially for Minnesota's BIPOC communities.
For some, hair is an expression of personality, but for others, it's a connection to culture. Now, under the Crown Act, Minnesota's residents will no longer need to worry about hair as a barrier to things like education, employment, and housing. Short for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair, the act would add hairstyle and texture to the Minnesota Human Rights Act. That means it would be illegal to discriminate against someone because of their hairstyle. For many black Minnesotans, facing discrimination based on hair has been an uphill battle for years. Lux Salon in downtown Duluth specializes in natural hair. Co-owner Junior Gregory says for many black community members, hair is an important way of expressing oneself. So a law barring discrimination could help make daily life much more comfortable.
I think that it would help a lot. You know, like, this is going to give people that edge. Like, that could be a reason why somebody's not going out to do something. Like, they could just be like, well, my hair doesn't look like anybody else's.
The bill passed through the state's House of Representatives with bipartisan support, making House members optimistic it'll garner enough support to become law. The bill will now go to Minnesota's state Senate before finding its way to Governor Tim Walz's desk to be signed into law.
All right, thanks, Quinn. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from civil rights experts in Duluth about the impact this bill could have on the BIPOC community.
An Itasca County Commissioner plans to run for a newly created state Senate seat. Ben DiNucci has joined the race for District 7 as a DFLer. Along with running several small businesses, he was Nashwaak's mayor for 3 years and has been an Itasca County Commissioner for 5. Redistricting recently shook up Minnesota's legislative map, changing the representation in our region. So far, no other candidates have publicly announced their campaigns for that seat. And after 4 terms in the Minnesota House, a Duluth lawmaker says she doesn't plan to run again. Representative Jen Schultz made that announcement today. The DFLer holds the District 7A seat, which represents the eastern half of Duluth. Schultz, who is an economics professor at UMD, says her time in public service isn't over. She wants to keep working on health care, the economy, and higher education, but didn't shed light on how exactly she might do that. So far, no one else has announced their plans to run for this district. The seat will be on the November ballot.
The former Proctor football player charged with sexually assaulting a teammate appeared in court today. The now 18-year-old's case is being heard in juvenile court since he was 17 at the time of the incident. It happened back in September after a varsity football practice. Court documents allege the suspect used a plunger to assault a younger teammate. Yesterday, prosecutors filed a motion asking the case be moved to adult court. Today, the judge ordered the suspect to go through several evaluations that will help make that decision. The judge also put the suspect on probation.
Let's get a check of the weather with Dave now. Dave, a little chilly out there this morning.
Yeah, it got below zero for a lot of towns indeed. I thought about 15 below would be the max, but a couple of places got towards 20 below. I'll show a map of who got what this morning in just a bit, but let's look at the here and now, because the cold came in with high pressure from the north, so that set us up for a beautiful day today. Lots of sunshine out there. The angle of this picture is making the sky look a little bit gray down towards Cloquet and Carlton there on I-35, but in general, it's still on the sunny side and beautiful side right now. And the roads are still on the dry side right now. Things are set to change, though, because the high that we had today is going away, and that low coming in from the west is the one that's going to increase clouds tonight, set us up for a cloudy day on Friday, and bring us upwards of a 90% chance for that much-feared rain and snow mix Saturday night into about noon hour on Sunday. Short-term forecast, not so bad, though. Tonight should be warmer, 4 above for a low rather than below zero. Though there are a few towns that'll still go below by a little bit. Increasing clouds sets us up for a mostly cloudy to overcast Friday, high temp 25. Saturday, still the day of reckoning. Yeah, there's still a pretty decent chance for a rain and snow mix. I'll talk about how much of that's going to try to stick coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5. If you're still in the winter spirit, Bayfield is the place to be this weekend. What the community has in store coming up in City by City.
Find your style with over 1,000 Patriot lighting options at Menards. Coordinate the lighting in your home with the modern Citrine collection, featuring an elegant gold finish in white glass, suitable for any room. The Citrine 5-light chandelier is $159.99 after 11% rebate. Or check out the timeless D collection, designed to blend into any setting. The brushed nickel finish and flat opal glass complements any decor. All Patriot lighting is 11% off now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
you can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
Anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
all of us can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it. Being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Watch Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
I remember my son was going to grow up without a father.
I didn't think someone at 23 could be diagnosed with breast cancer.
I was probably the healthiest I had been in my life.
Early detection of a melanoma saved my life.
I survived testicular cancer because of early detection.
I survived cancer not once but twice because of early detection.
During the pandemic, you may have delayed or canceled routine cancer screenings. It's time to get those appointments back on the books. Early detection saves lives.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Spirit Mountain tonight. Conditions are sure to be different at local ski hills after this weekend's system. And Dave will be in with your full forecast in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look around the region. A grant helping with tourism initiatives on the Iron Range and details on one community's strategic plan. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start things off in Bayfield with a fun event for your weekend. Starting tomorrow through Friday, the Visitors Bureau, in partnership with the Recreation and Fitness Resources, will be hosting their annual Winter Festival. One of the festival's big events is the Polar Plunge. Held on Saturday, all proceeds from the Polar Plunge will go to a nonprofit or a team of the jumpers' choosing. Fun costumes are encouraged. We'll have a link to all the events on our website. And a heads up to those planning on attending the Winter Festival just outside of Spooner, that event has been pushed to next weekend due to potential winter weather. And next we head over to the Iron Range, where the IRRB is taking applications for their Culture and Tourism Grant. The grant helps cities, tribal governments, and nonprofits in arts, culture, and recreational activities to boost local happenings and the economy. In the past, these grants have been used for projects for several community splash pads, building a local park and adding cultural programming at an annual sled dog race. Applications for the grant are due March 31st. And we wrap up in Biwabik tonight, where the community is going ahead with its strategic plan. During the 2021 year, the Range Town partnered with a local company to form strategic groups designed to help hear from the community and create a long-term plan. Approved in November by the City Council, the 5-year plan is now being implemented. 4 strategic directions were established, including enhancing amenities, increasing economic development, and creating community through engagement and connections. We'll have a link to the full plan on our website. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email, and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, more than a century after it sunk to the bottom of Lake Superior, researchers have just found the shipwreck of the Atlanta. The ship's story in just a few minutes.
In the year 2000, we hit 55 degrees for our record high temp. Remember in the 20th century how the year 2000 seemed to be so far off in the future? Well, now it's ancient history, but our near future is holding a change in the weather. We'll go from sunny to cloudy, and from cloudy to snowy. We'll talk about the latest theories that have come our way on how much is coming down Saturday right after our break.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Diabetics understand all too well the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how you can get your own continuous glucose monitor or CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
When it comes to autism, finding the right words can be tough. Finding understanding doesn't have to be.
Julian, I love you.
Love you too. Together, we can create a kinder, more inclusive world for the millions of people on the autism spectrum. Go to autismspeaks.org.
Just follow me. I'll lead the way.
There's always something new under the sun.
Oh, you just put me in a good mood.
CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Stay connected to live local CBS 3. Check out our exclusive content on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as our mobile app, and join the conversation on today's big stories. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Arctic high pressure came to call last night, and it made things more Arctic-y, frankly, than I thought. I thought we'd go towards 15 below up north, and Orr got there. Hibbing was pretty close, but Ely hit 20 below. International Falls, 21 degrees below zero. Then into Wisconsin, where I thought things would bottom out maybe around 5 below or so. You get Hayward going to 15 below, and the UP 16 to 19 below. Well, tonight, it's not going to be quite as cold because our Arctic high is leaving, and clouds are coming in to act as an atmospheric blanket. Though up north, some towns could still go below zero towards about 5 to 7 below. Right now, 20 above is what we have at Duluth International Airport with sunshine, so it's a very nice feeling. And savor that sun while you can because, of course, the clouds are already coming in a couple of hours. Cloudy Friday, and a good chance, a 90% chance for the rain-snow mix on Saturday that we've been talking about all week long. Westerly, northwesterly wind currently is going 8 miles per hour. Relative humidity is pretty dry at 32%. Current temperatures really warmed up since this morning. We're now in the upper teens above zero for the Vermilion Range and Borderland, and 19 to 21 degrees for much of the Mesabi Range. Cuyuna Range numbers, 20 straight up. From Cloquet down towards Hinckley, 21 to 23. Anywhere from 18 to 25 up the North Shore and into Wisconsin. We're looking at mid-20s for a lot of places. Superior's close at 24. Lower 20s from La Pointe to Ashland. Mid-20s back around Hayward. And into the UP, 21 to 25 degrees at the moment. And, of course, we've got sunshine for still a good portion of the region, but the clouds are already indeed pushing in from the west. Those clouds are associated with low-pressure system that's still well off towards our west. So a few more hours, perhaps, of higher pressure keeping us on the drier side, but then things are going to change. The high and its associated sunshine go away. The low-pressure system from the west gets closer. And Friday, that sets us up then for a cloudy but calm day. There may be a few little snow flurries, but that's really just a testing of the waters, so to speak, and not the main event. The main event is when this low-pressure system gets closer and we get a rain and snow mix on Saturday. Starting off lightly during the daylight hours, but Saturday night into Sunday noon, the mix chance goes to 90%, and the precip totals, not as wild as some folks have been thinking, but still 4 to 6 inches of wet, heavy concrete snow up north from the ranges to the border. The heart of the region for the North Shore, the South Shore, East Central Minnesota, 2 to 4 inches of a wintry mix with ice on top and rain with a little bit of ice and even thunderstorms farther inland for Wisconsin. So Saturday could be a good day to hunker down and watch CBS 3 TV. We got some good shows. And, of course, Bo Fogel and the weekend meteorological crew will keep an eye on the system for us. Tonight in Minnesota, increasing clouds with low temps going towards 7 below for International Falls, 8 above for right by the lake, Wisconsin, Michigan, 2 to 5 above. Tomorrow's high temps, Wisconsin, Michigan, 28 to 33 with a mostly cloudy sky. Mostly cloudy for Minnesota with high temps 24 up north to 30 down south. And then, yeah, there we go, Saturday, especially overnight Saturday into Sunday morning, 90% chance for the rain-snow mix. 50% chance Sunday morning for some follow-up snow as the system departs. And then by Monday and Tuesday, we're back to sunshine. High temps fairly close to normal. Blink, and you might miss it. No, I can't push it that far, but it may just become a memory very quickly if, of course, we hunker down and ride it out at first.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, remember to stay off the roads, do something good inside. Get some projects
I think that's good advice for Saturday.
All right, thanks, Dave.
The Edmund Fitzgerald is probably the most well-known shipwreck to happen on Lake Superior, but researchers estimate there are still hundreds of undiscovered ships lurking at the bottom of the Big Lake.
Yeah, and recently wreckage was discovered very near to the Fitzgerald location, but this ship sank more than 75 years ago. CBS 3's Bo Fogel hears from one of those researchers who helped discover the Atlanta.
Lake Superior is known for breathtaking views, but holds many mysteries under the surface. That includes the location of a ship lost at sea more than a century ago. That is, until now.
We now know where the Atlanta is.
Corey Atkins with the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society says researchers discovered the location of the 172-foot schooner barge named Atlanta submerged in the cold, dark depths of Lake Superior. It was found 35 miles off Deer Park near Michigan's UP. On May 4th, 1891, the Atlanta was being towed by the steamer Wilhelm when a powerful storm blew in, causing the barge to capsize.
The tow line broke, so they're just floating out there alone.
7 crew members on board were able to scurry onto a lifeboat, but the lifeboat overturned, killing all but 2 crewmen. Those 2 men were saved thanks to a witness.
A bystander who was walking down the beach saw this happening, ran to the Chris Point life-saving station, and they got a crew out there.
Researchers were able to find the Atlanta by using sonar attached to a 50-foot vessel. With this discovery, Atkins hoped to conduct more research on the ship as well as connect to possible descendants of the crew.
And one of the things that I would hope for is maybe there is a past family member that might see this and say, hey, my great-grandfather was on the Atlanta.
Well, that would sure be an interesting story. The Atlanta will stay in its watery grave. Atkins says it's illegal to remove the remains from the water, so researchers say that the ship was very well preserved due to the frigid depth and lack of salt in the water. The 3 masts attached to the ship were broken off and are still missing to this day.
It's that time of the show where we get to talk about adoptable pets, and today's pet comes to us from Range Regional Animal Rescue in Hibbing.
I've been told that this one's name is very appropriate. This is Pudge. She is a 4-year-old German Shepherd and Belgian Malinois mix. Our friends at the shelter tell us she lives up to every aspect of her name and her breed. She likes to chew and eat up anything she can get her paws on, so she will definitely need a home to adapt to her lifestyle and be committed to keeping her active and busy. Yeah, German Shepherds could take a lot of running around to get that energy out, but they're so sweet.
They are
so cute,
We
too.
adopted a German Shepherd from Range Regional Animal Rescue, and his name is Duke, and he does love to eat anything in sight, but he truly is the sweetest boy.
And
such a good boy.
He has white fur.
He does,
Yeah,
yes.
so that's
So
unique.
I can vouch for this breed. They are a very, very good dog.
Yeah, and Pudge is a cutie with those
Yeah.
ears, too. So if you'd like to set up an appointment to adopt Pudge, you can call the number on your screen.
Still to come, police officers have bulletproof vests to keep them safe on the job, but their canine partners don't always have the same. Meet one young boy on a mission to change that.
Winter, where cold meets play. Adventure authentically with Frost River.
With Bath Planet, you get industry-leading products to modernize your bathroom with personalized options to fit your needs. Bath Planet has custom-built showers, baths, and maintenance-free wall surrounds with over 100 different colors and styles. Our certified installers can be done in as little as a day using products backed by the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval and a matching labor warranty. Right now, you can receive 10% off your entire project and 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2023. Bath Planet, out-of-this-world service, down-to-earth price.
I'm Nora O'Donnell in our nation's capital. We're here at the White House with the President of the United States.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
The Supreme Court building behind me is once again at the center of a monumental battle. Tonight, a congressional investigation sparked by reporting from CBS News. Our exclusive access to the presidential platform. We will witness yet another moment in history.
The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell from Washington, D.C.
We got work to do. The star is only as good as the person wearing it.
There's been a whole lot of ups and a whole lot of downs. You have changed.
I know, Tim. I'm on the right path now. I don't want to be the one calling the shots, but I can answer that call.
Walker, new episode tonight at 8/7 Central, only on the CW.
isolated and lonely can be harmful to your health, resulting in high blood pressure, a greater risk of heart disease, and early onset dementia. So it's important to build and maintain social connections. Try a new hobby, volunteer, exercise, or use your phone or other device to stay in touch. Visit connecttoeffect.org to find resources and ways to stay connected. This message is brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
For you to learn something new every evening, we need to write something new. And that's why winning the 2021 Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing makes us smile. The CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
Man's best friend has someone special looking out for him, a very special young boy.
A 12-year-old in Ohio has raised more than $500,000 to purchase vests for police dogs across the country. Bradley Blackburn reports from New York.
Meet Ranger, a 2-year-old canine officer who's protecting the residents of Sacramento, California. And now meet the kid who's helping to protect him.
Hi, this is Brady from Brady's Canine Fund.
Brady Snikovsky's mission started when he was just 9 years old. Now 12, the 6th grader is still raising funds to buy bulletproof vests for police dogs and spreading the word on social media.
I'm selling the ornaments to buy a ballistic vest for police canines that don't have one.
Ballistic vests help shield dogs' vital organs, but each one costs $1,200 or more, an expense that's out of reach for many police departments. So Brady's Canine Fund has raised the money to send vests to 546 working dogs in 37 states.
I donate canine vests because I want to protect the canines.
Brady says it means just as much to a dog's handler.
It just snaps in right here on the side.
It's true for Officer Arian Turman, who saw his partner Ranger stabbed in November as they pursued a suspect.
He has my back, I have his. I do anything for him, and he would do anything for me, as he did that night.
Now Brady has outfitted Ranger and every other canine officer in Sacramento. Some of the hundreds of hardworking police dogs getting help from a remarkable young man. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
One of Brady's vests even made it here to the Northland. Back in August, Babbitt's Canine Tack got his vest through Brady's Canine Fund.
Here's what we're working on tonight. The ominous warning that the worst is yet to come in Ukraine as Russia captures its first major city and a humanitarian crisis unfolds as gas prices skyrocket here at home. Plus, TikTok and teens' mental health, the multi-state investigation into the popular social media app and the possible harm to America's youth. And 1 million goodbyes. We reflect on a week of tragedy for the Ukrainian people. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. If you're 45 years or older, talk to your provider about screening options. The best colorectal cancer screening is the one that gets done.
Do you listen to the TV on high volume or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from hearing aids. Don't waste thousands on expensive hearing aids when you can get Nano's revolutionary technology for just $297. Don't be fooled by higher-priced hearing aids. The CIC Recharge is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. With rechargeable technology many customers say is superior to more expensive models. Call now and get not one, but 2 Nano hearing aids for just $297. Plus, we'll add a portable charging case and ship your order absolutely free. The CIC Recharge has a tiny in-the-ear canal design that is nearly invisible. Why keep missing out on important conversations or waste thousands of dollars? Call and get 2 CIC Recharge hearing aids for only $297 and free shipping.
800-758-1647. Again, that's 800-758-1647.
Coronavirus work injuries. Call Stockman Law Office. Return to work issues. Payment of medical bills and lost wages. Call anytime. 218-576-8599. No recovery, no fee. Please stay safe and healthy. Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries, serious law.
CBS details on a massive fire that has shut down an entire Duluth.
We hear from the residents of Duluth.
2:30 in the morning, winter storm.
Multiple departments on scene. We'll take you there live now.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Thursday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up at 6.
Tonight at 5, we heard from a local hair salon on the importance of the Crown Act to local BIPOC communities. The legislation would end jobs and homeowner discrimination based on hairstyle or texture. While it still needs to pass through the Senate, it did pass the House with bipartisan support.
And tonight at 6, the worldwide language learning software Rosetta Stone has recently partnered with the local Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe to create a new program dedicated to preserving the Ojibwe language. We'll have more on that tonight.
That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next.
We'll see you at 6.